the most common questions I get from guys and their partners is what to do if you have a weak erection. So we're going to talk about the difference between a weak erection and erectile dysfunction, because that's really important to understand. Then I'm going to get into the causes of weak erections, and then I'm going to tell you 5 things you can do that will strengthen those babies. At the end of this video, I'm also going to give you one bonus tip that lots of people don't think about, but actually really helps with making those erections rock hard. Okay, so first of all, what's the difference between a weak erection and erectile dysfunction? Well, every guy is going to experience weak erections. It can be stress that you're having, or distractions, or age, or you're not into your partner or whoever you're with. You know, everybody experiences weak erections sometimes. Erectile dysfunction is the inability to get aroused. So it's the inability for you to achieve an erection or maintain an erection. That's very different than it just being a little softer than usual or not as hard as you'd like. So let's get into the common causes for weak erections. Number 1, like I said, stress. So if you are physically stressed, or in particular for guys, I have found if you are stressed about work-related or financial-related things in particular, it is going to affect not only your erections, but even your desire to be sexual. So if you're not into your partner, or you're upset about something, your erection may not be as strong as it normally is. The other common reason is a circumstantial one. So let's say you don't have as much stimulation and sensation when you use condoms. So you may have weaker erections when using condoms than you do when it's skin-to-skin contact. That's not to say you shouldn't use condoms if you aren't in a monogamous relationship where you've both been tested for sexually transmitted infections, but that's a good example of a circumstantial thing. Or something happens during the sexual scenario that's uncomfortable or that turns you off a little bit. Yeah, you're going to have a weaker erection at that moment because, you know, where attention goes, blood flows, and emotional arousal increases the blood flow to the genitals. Another common cause for weaker erections is aging, because as we age, there's plaque that builds up in our blood vessels, and it makes, you know, the pipes not as clean. So basically what an erection is and what causes an erection is blood flowing into the penis, and then there is something called a venous trapping mechanism. So the male penis has basically 2 rods of tissue that are called the corpus cavernosum, but basically blood flows into that area, and then it gets trapped there. Same thing happens with women. Blood flows into the clitoris and labia and around the vagina. It doesn't get trapped there. That's why women don't have erections. But for men, they have that's how the erections happen. So anything, any medication you're taking in any medical condition like diabetes or heart disease and just aging will diminish the blood flow all over your body, including to your genitals. So what do you do about it? Well, first of all, go see your doctor if you think there may be a physiologic reason. So if you think it's a medication you're taking, or if you have a medical condition, like I mentioned, you want to go to your doctor and see if there's something that they can add into your medical regime that will promote the blood flow. So sometimes that's as simple as taking a blood flow enhancer like Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra. Sometimes medical treatment is necessary. They even have ultrasonic therapy for men now. So there are lots of treatments available. And ideally, you want to go to a urologist who specializes in sexual medicine, because they're the ones that know the most about the penis. Don't just go to your general practitioner if you can help it. Go to a urologist. Second thing you can do, quit watching so much porn. It has been shown now in studies, now that we have longitudinal data, that it is extremely common for men to have difficulty reaching a full arousal with a human partner when they've been watching a lot of porn. Make sure to watch my video on porn addiction and healthy porn use, because you'll see in how I explain in that video that the studies are showing that when a guy is, or anyone is looking at pornography, it's registering in the brain as a 2D object. So when you go to have sex with a 3D person, your brain and your body aren't attuned to getting aroused for that. So we see a lot of men who are excessively using porn, having a hard time getting aroused as much as they'd like to with a human partner. And along those lines, slow down on the self-stimulation. If you want to have a really hard erection, don't self-stimulate before you have sex. So if you know you're going to be having sex that evening, maybe give yourself a good 24 hours before you have sex. You know, one of the best ways I tell guys to last longer and to not get aroused so quickly is to self-stimulate before sex. So if you want to get more aroused, the longer the distance between last self-stimulation or last sexual encounter and the current one, the harder you're going to be. Number 4 is strengthening your pelvic floor. This is the floor of muscles that hold up all your reproductive organs, and they involve both your transverse abdominals, which are those core muscles that you exercise when you do core exercises, and the Kegels that run in a figure 8 around the base of the penis and the anus. And so to access those muscles, squeeze and stop mid-flow when you're urinating. You don't want to exercise your Kegels stopping the flow of urine, but that's how you identify them. Those same muscles that you use to stop the flow of urine, you're going to use to exercise when you're not urinating to strengthen the pelvic floor. The stronger the muscles are there, the more blood flow, the more innervated the penis is going to be. So watch my video on doing Kegel muscles as well. There's lots of information I have on my channel about that. Finally, check your hormones. You have to have enough testosterone in order to even have an erection. And in fact, I see many guys who go out there and take one of those blood flow enhancers. They think that's going to work. It doesn't work, and they don't know why. More often than not, it's because they have low testosterone. So for most men, as they hit their mid to late 40s, and certainly if they're over 50, and sometimes if they're younger, they will have low testosterone. Once again, a urologist can help you with testosterone replacement if you need it, and assess whether all of your hormones are where they should be, because if they're not, that will definitely affect the strength of your erections. So are you ready for your bonus erection helper? Get enough sleep. It seems like a strange connection, right? Sleep and erections. Well, it turns out that if you're not getting enough sleep, it affects your hormone levels. And if you have sleep apnea, which goes undiagnosed for lots of people, that's where you wake up and you're panting, you're not getting enough oxygen, you stop breathing in your sleep. It's actually affecting the amount of nitric oxide that is in your blood. You're not getting enough oxygen, and there isn't enough nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is key to causing erections. In fact, that's what those medications like Viagra increase, nitric oxide in the blood. So the more oxygen you're getting, which means good exercise, good sleep, not having sleep apnea, the more nitric oxide you're going to have, the stronger your erections are going to be. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified when a new video gets released. Make sure to follow the Language of Love podcast and listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite ones.